I now request His Excellency Mr. Marc Barety, Ambassador of France to Pakistan, to please come to the podium and address the audience.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, everybody, and it's always a great pleasure to be here to see old friends and new faces. So Mr. Jamil Hamdani, Chairman PFBA, which is an old friend. Mr. Marc Barety, a new face and a future old friend. Saeed Al-Lawal, Deputy Chairman, ladies and gentlemen and members of PFBA, a very good evening to you. I think I could stop there because Jamil has said everything. I think he got a copy of my speech before I started. You know, he's always well connected with the embassy. I'd like to very warmly congratulate PFBA for holding this third Trade Performance Award ceremony. And for me, it's the first one because the previous years, the year before it was not held, and the year before I was too young in the country to participate. It's heartening to see that PFBA has kept up with this tradition of acknowledging the performance of leading exporters and importers from our two countries. Of course, despite drop in the volume of our bilateral trade, Jamil Saab had given you all the figures. What strikes me is that while Pakistan is doing extremely well in exporting your products to France, well, the French companies have not been doing very well. And for me, I think I became famous in my ministry for representing my country with a very bad trade performance, because Pakistan is among our largest bilateral trade deficits. So I'm keeping quiet about this, but I think we have to make some effort in this regard, and I think we need to work exactly on what you have said, my dear Jamil, diversification, because this is really the key to improve our bilateral trade. And on both sides, we have a number of products to propose that cater for the needs of the other. One very important asset in this is GSP+. And Pakistan has been benefiting from this regime, which is reviewed on a yearly basis, and that allows Pakistan to export to the EU market. And I remind you that the EU market is 500 million people, 500 million consumers. In the few months it will be a little bit less. However, it will remain a sizable export market for you. So GSP Plus is there, and we are encouraging our Pakistani friends to keep going on living up to the commitment taken under GSP Plus, under 27 international conventions, UN and ILO, to make sure that GSP Plus keeps working. On the Pakistani side, I think you also have to make an effort, because all the potential of GSP Plus is not being used. So you can export even more to Europe under GSP Plus. As you said, Jamil Saab, some 30 French companies are established in Pakistan, and the investment is roughly 1.4 billion euros. Our main investors here are NG, Total, and Sanofi. I've seen Sanofi earlier in the room. It's good, and we are wishing that it could be more than that. We are very lucky also to have very successful Pakistani friends in the business in France with large investments. And of course, Marc Barety is an excellent example of this, and I want to warmly congratulate him for making his way through the fashion industry in Paris, and I was discussing this with him. He started in this area called Le Sentier. I know the area because I was friends with 2 or 3 guys whose fathers were owning businesses there. So I know the Schmattes industry, as they say. Schmattes is the Yiddish word for clothes. And it's a very difficult business. You have to be awfully creative. You have to design. And the fashion keeps changing every 3 months. So imagine the amount of creativity you need for this and the courage it needs to reinvest your benefit in a new collection and keep your fingers crossed so that the consumers will be happy with this. So I think you made an excellent performance, and I want to express my sincere congratulations and encouragement, do more. And of course, I hope that with your help, we will be able to export more to Pakistan. For instance, exporting textile. Why not? We can always dream. Another outstanding contribution to our bilateral economic relation I want to mention tonight is Jawad Ahai and Martin Dow. I want to mention this friend who passed away a little bit more than a year ago. He has invested in France very courageously, has been doing extremely well, and we were unfortunate that he passed away. His children have been taking over the business. I visited them, and I want also to congratulate them both for what they are doing here, for supporting us, and for supporting the French economy and industry. So this is where we are. We have major players, people who are extremely performant, and I think we should use this a little bit more. Just a little something about the steps that have been taken by Pakistan to stabilize the economy. You all know this better than I do, but there's been an IMF agreement, there's been a number of steps taken to try and kickstart the economy. Of course, you don't have a magic wand when it comes to economy. The process can be a little bit long and painful, but I'm convinced that with these measures, Pakistan will become more and more attractive, and you can see that in the ranking of ease of doing business, Pakistan has skipped by 20 ranks. So this is an achievement that is commendable. The other thing that is important for business is security. Not only legal security, because of course to have a stable legal and tax environment is encouraging for French companies to invest here, but it's also security, the basic concept. And in this field as well, Pakistan has been making tremendous progresses, and I'm happy to tell you that we have been able to relax our travel advisory to Pakistan when I came here in the first year, and I'm expecting in the coming weeks a further relaxation on our travel advisory that will trigger more business people to come here, more tourists. So hopefully, keep our fingers crossed, this is going to happen very shortly. I'd like, if you don't mind, to make a little advertisement for my country and to tell you that investment in France is highly profitable, that we welcome all foreign capital. You may know that half of our stock exchange is between foreign hands, so we are a country to invest. Please, if you are interested, let us know. We are here to help you, and I receive on a regular basis Pakistani business people who are willing to have new businesses in France to take advantage of the new developments in my country. Another opportunity for us is the unfortunate event that I mentioned a little bit earlier, or I hinted to, is that the UK has chosen to walk out of the European Union. It's not happening right now. It's being a soap opera with many episodes, and I must say that I've lost track at one point of what was really happening. But what we know is now elections will happen, and there's going to be a strong decision made to move out of the EU, hopefully with the agreement that has been approved between the EU and the UK. It's unfortunate, but it's the decision of the British people, and we fully respect it. But it's also an opportunity. UK being a major partner to Pakistan, I think you might look for another gateway to the EU. And I think that there are many countries that can offer you this gateway, and I see mainly two. One is France, the other, of course, is Germany. So if you need to access the European market, our two countries are there, and I'm sure that you will find plenty of excellent opportunities. I'm also always very delighted to see that there are encouraging signals concerning the development of economic and trade relations between France and Pakistan. We have received last April, was it, with Jamil and others, a delegation from MEDEF. MEDEF is the French business union, the major French business union. They came here, there were 30 companies represented. They had a trip to Islamabad, Lahore and Karachi, and it's exactly that type of business delegation that we need. They have signed now an MOU with BOI. I'm not a great believer in MOUs. What I'm a believer in is what is actually being done, but it gives a framework and hopefully it's going to produce results. I'm also happy to tell you that the Joint Economic Commission between France and Pakistan is going to be held at ministerial level this year, or rather in the beginning of 2020, with the Federal Minister of Economic Affairs, Hamad Azhar. The resumption of this partnership will literally boost our economic relations, and I hope very much that it's going to produce excellent results and allow for more French exports to Pakistan. To conclude, I would say that I have an unwavering faith in the economic potential of Pakistan because of the size of the market, because of your industry, because of your agriculture, because of the unbelievable creativity of the young and less young people that I meet here. I visit universities on a regular basis. I mean, is it on the field, in the field of creative arts, engineering, high-tech? These people are unbelievable, and they are, of course, a resource for your country, and they would be a resource for the French company who want to settle here. So we are quite confident that our trade and exchanges will keep developing. I want to conclude by telling you that the embassy and the consul general is an excellent consul general and whose broad network of friends here. We are all ready to contribute to the improvement of relations between France and Pakistan, to help you, to assist you in your endeavors to develop this trade and this investment flux between our two countries. Don't hesitate to call us. Follow us on Twitter, France in PAC, because social media today are very important. And to conclude really on this note, I would like to thank you for what you've been doing at PFBA. Thank you, dear Jamil Hamdani. Thank you, members of the board. Thank you, members of PFBA, for being so supportive to the trade between our two countries, but not only to the trade, to the friendship between France and Pakistan. Thank you very much.